the meeting. It's after 5:30. It's the ordinary council meeting of Monday, the 22nd of September 2025. In accordance with the Local Government Act of 1993, Cowra Council is recording this meeting and will upload the recording to Council's website. By speaking at this meeting, you agree to being recorded and having that recording published in the public domain. Please ensure that when you speak at council meetings, you are respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. Cowra Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this meeting. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Wiradjuri people, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'd like to acknowledge in our gallery today, we have Kylie Wright Ford, the daughter of Kevin Wright. I'd like to take a moment to pay a tribute to former councillor Kevin Wright, who sadly passed away last week. Kevin served 2 terms as a councillor on Cowra Council and was widely regarded as a thoughtful, reliable and community-minded councillor. He also had the misfortune to stand on the 5-year term because of COVID at the end of his council career. I personally knew Kevin for many years and I held great regard for him. He was also the chairman of Cowra Retirement Village prior to me being the chairman. So I've had a lot to do with Kevin. Thoughtful, reliable and community-minded come to words, but I like to just mention that Kevin was a good bloke. And I think that sums it up. I never heard a bad word about Kevin from anybody. Council offers their sincere condolences to Del and his family at this very sad time. I would now ask that we have a minute's silence as we pay tribute to Kevin. Thank you very much. And Kylie, look, it's not a happy time. We're lovely to see you here. Under different circumstances, it'd be even nicer. But please give your mum our regards and thank you for coming. Thank you. 1.3, attendance, apologies and application for leave of absence by councillors. We have Councillor Fagan and Councillor Wright who are on leave. Councillor Cave can't be with us tonight. And I would like to take a motion. I'll take a motion to accept those applications for leave and apologies. Councillor Kiss, thank you. Councillor Horton, just beaten. All those in favour? I don't think we need to speak about it. Now, I would like to take a motion to allow Councillor Watt to join the meeting by audio-visual means. Councillor Downing, Councillor Speechley. Councillor Downing. Councillor Fink. No other comments? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Pass, thank you. 1.4, councillor staff, please indicate in relation to any interest you need to declare. A, what report or item you are declaring an interest in. B, whether the interest is pecuniary or non-pecuniary. And C, what is the nature of this interest. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. May I first just confirm that items 3.1, 3.11 and 5.16 of Cowra Early Childhood Services will be largely dealt with in 5.16?
Yes, 3.1 and 3.11 will only be motions to deal with it in 5.6.
In that case, I have a minor non-pecuniary interest as my child is an employee. I'll remain in the chamber for 3.1 and 3.11 and leave the chamber for 5.16. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Watt, I note your hand up, I think.
Thank you. I'd like to declare a non-pecuniary interest in item 3.6 as a family member was involved in the submission, and I will leave the chamber for that motion.
Thank you. We have no presentations and, oh, sorry, Councillor Speechley.
In item 3.10, as I'm on the board of the Cowra Japanese Gardens and leave the room.
The 3.10, is it? Leaving the room. Thank you. Okay, there are no presentations, no public forum. I'll take item 2. I'll take a motion to confirm the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 25th of August 2025. Councillor Kiss, Councillor Horton, Councillor Kiss, Councillor Horton. Right of reply, Councillor Kiss. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Pass, thank you. Now, item 3, 3.1, business assistance to Cowra early childhood services. This will be dealt with in item 5.6. Can I have someone move that we refer that at 5.6? Thank you, Councillor Downing and Councillor Horton. Thank you. Councillor Downing? Councillor Horton? Anyone else like to comment? Right, a reply not required. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you very much. 3.2, policy review, payment of expenses and provision of facilities to the Mayor and councillors. Councillor Kiss, Councillor Horton, Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we spoke in greater detail during our general committee meeting, it's a policy that requires re-evaluating every year. This is the payment of expenses and provisions of facilities to the Mayor and councillors. Very few changes. We're looking at introducing a logbook for our mayoral car. Certainly don't believe that's unreasonable. It's all to do with transparency. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Horton.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, some good discussion as Councillor Kiss flagged. We have made updates to a couple of areas just to clarify. We had some questions around travel, for example, and we've made a significant update to the budget line for carer expenses. All well discussed, well debated, and I think we landed in a good place. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to comment? Okay, right of reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed, thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Pass, thank you. 3.3, donation money in public school 2025 school spectacular. Councillor Downing and second to Councillor Kiss. Thank you. Councillor Downing.
This was discussed at our general committee meeting. They did ask for $3,000 and we have dropped it to $2,000 to match what we've given to Cowra High School. I suggested perhaps next year with cost of living we might consider upping that as well in the future, but wish them luck and congratulations for being selected.
Thank you. Councillor Kiss.
Yes, and just to add on to that too, you know, as we discussed, that decisions like this, they're not reflective of the worthiness of the project. As Councillor Downing said, it's just to do with equity, and certainly wish them all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to comment? Right, a reply, Councillor Downing. Put the motion. All those in favour? Pass, thank you. 3.4, donation to the Woodstock Panthers Football Club 2025 Community Cup Challenge. Councillor Horton, thank you. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, look, a very modest request, $400 to assist with collection of garbage bins to support the event, a great community event. So, as I said, very modest request. Happy to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed, thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Horton, write a reply.
Not required. Thank you.
Put the
Mr. Mayor.
motion. All those in favour? Passed. Thank you. 3.5 Investments and Financial Report. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is our monthly investment financial report. As we'd mentioned during our general committee meeting, the investments are being made according to our regulations, with our average interest rate being 4.3%, and that's above our market rates. I would like to thank the ratepayers who are continuing to pay their rates promptly, and remind them, please speak to our friendly council staff if they're at all struggling with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Horton.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, look, not really anything to add other than to say I think the financial report contains a characteristic that is good in financial reports, and that is no surprises. So continued fairly tight management of the budget, which is terrific. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Kiss, write a reply.
Not needed, thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Passed. Thank you. We're at 3.6. Councillor Watt, we will turn off your audio visual now and pray that we can get it back when we're finished. So.
Excellent. Thank you.
Councillor Watt, could I invite you to maybe hang up? Thank you.
Right. 3.6, development application number 10.2025.801, lot 1, DP 111413, 19 Barawa Street, Cowra, shed and fencing lodged by JT Butler. The property owner is SM and JT Butler. Councillor Horton. Councillor Speechley. Councillor Horton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Clearly, you need to be a little bit more vigorous with your seconding. So we spoke about this one. This is a kind of a strangely shaped corner block, and as we discussed in the general committee meeting, this is probably a pretty good use, pretty effective use of that strangely shaped corner block. One of the things we did clarify when we discussed it previously is that the nil street boundary setback doesn't mean that the fence is actually built right up to the road. It just means there's the normal street setback, and the fence, the shed opening forms part of that fence line. So entirely appropriate, entirely okay as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Speechley.
This application is consistent with some other dwellings nearby who have garages built up to the building boundary. So it's going to look really nice, I think, compared to some of the others perhaps, and certainly support the application.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to comment? Write a reply, Councillor Horton.
No, not required. Thank you.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Passed unanimous. Thank you. Now we'll try and get Councillor Watt back. Good. Welcome back, Councillor Watt. 3.7, develop application number 102025.75.1, lot 5, DP 1239980, 62 Cowra Road, Cowra, a shed lodged by AP Crouch. The property owner is MJ and AP Crouch. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton was beating you to it. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is for a DA for a construction of a shed. It's on a property that's over 1 acre, 4,000 squares. And what it's looking for is a variation in relation to the height of the shed. Our DCP advises a maximum height of 4.5. This is 6.0 058. And look, I think that residents on larger properties are seeking, a little bit more flexibility, things like their shed sizes. And obviously something like that would be ludicrous on a resident property, but, out on a larger property, it seems quite appropriate. It's been fully justified, and there's sufficient space between the properties, and it doesn't look like it will have any negative impacts on any surrounding properties at all either. So I support the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, it's well positioned. It is a large shed, but there's a full explanation as to the reasoning behind that. Where it's positioned on the property as well, it's behind existing structures and behind the building line, so it's not going to dominate the streetscape by any stretch of the imagination. And as, of course, is our requirement, we notified the development application publicly. There were no submissions received, so happy to support the application. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to comment? Councillor Kiss, write a reply.
Not needed. Thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Item 3.8, Development Application 10.2025.68.1, Lot 14 DP 10999490, 359 Allura Road, Cowra. Garage and retaining wall lodged by A.L. Millen. The property owner is A.L. Millen. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Speechley. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, once again, this is for seeking a variation in our DCP for the garage height. Again, our DCP says 4.5 metres. This is 5.75 metres, and we're finding a lot more of these, especially as caravans are getting larger. So it's not surprising at all. We're looking at a block that's just over half an acre, so it's larger in size. It's sufficiently distanced from nearby properties. And it's also asking for a retaining wall of approximately 1.2 metres at its highest point. This is to allow for turning around a vehicle in front of the shed. It's reasonable. The land is slightly undulating. I see no reason that we shouldn't approve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Speechley.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. Anybody else like to comment? Councillor Kiss, write a reply.
Not needed. Thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. Passed. 3.9, Planning Proposal PP 2023-884, Lot 2 DP 1028751, Lynch Street, Cowra, seeking to amend the Cowra LEP of 2012 by rezoning Lot 2 DP 1028751 from SP2 Infrastructure to E3 Productivity Support, lodged by John Salas. Councillor Kiss, Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not going to go into detail on this because apparently it's been on quite significant discussion since I was a girl. Quite simply looking to find a use for this property on Lynch Street with the correct zoning. So we're just wanting to make sure that it actually has some potential use. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Horton.
No, nothing to add. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Kiss, write a reply.
Not needed. Thank you.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. Passed. Item 3.10. Development application number 10.2025.62.1, Lot 7 DP 1173223, Carlton Street, Cowra, alterations and additions to outdoor recreation facility, Cowra Japanese Garden and Cultural Centre, lodged by Hector Abrahams Architect Proprietary Limited. The property owner is the Department of Planning, Housing and Infrastructure, Crown Lands. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, this is an exciting DA. Our Japanese Gardens and Cultural Centre is an item of local heritage significance. And I think for anyone that's been through it a few times, even they've potentially considered what improvements could be made for accessibility and just to the design of the internal buildings and the entrance. I'd actually encourage anyone to have a look at these plans. The modifications make a lot of sense. It's intended to convert the existing reception, office, shop, and obviously improve better flow of traffic and internal traffic, or pedestrian traffic, I should say, and improve accessibility. So it's hugely significant for our tourism economy. I think it's a wonderful design, and I'm just going to be glad to see it happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. As we know, this is a world-class facility. Anything we can do to refresh and maintain and upkeep that world-class facility is worthwhile doing. It comes to us, of course, because it's listed property, but happy to support these updates. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone? Would you like to comment? I was going to say anybody, Councillor Watt or Councillor Downing. Thank you. You have right of reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed, thank
Not
you.
needed. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 3.1, business assistance to Cowra Early Childhood Services. That is will be dealt with at 5.6. Can I have someone move that be the case? Councillor Downing. Have you got? And Councillor Horton. Councillor Downing. Councillor Horton.
Agree.
Anybody else like to comment? Write a reply, Councillor Downing. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. Passed. Item 4.1, the alcohol-free zone. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Downing. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, alcohol-free zones, we know they're not a silver bullet for preventing antisocial behaviour, but as part of a broader framework, including, community education, design of our public spaces, I think it's likely to have significant impact. All we're doing is reviewing the dates. And look, I think more than anything, alcohol-free zones set a standard for what we expect in our community. We expect for people to, we understand that people want to drink sensibly, but we also expect a sensible behaviour outside of the facilities where anybody in the community is free to walk without any harassment. Thank you.
Councillor Downing.
This is just housekeeping because the previous alcohol-free zone had lapsed, so we're just renewing this, and yep, it makes sense to me, and we've had no submissions when we put it out on public exhibition, so happy to go ahead.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Write a reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed, thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Pass. Thank you. 4.2, change of date for the November council meeting. We'll have several councillors at the local government conference in Penrith. Do I have a Councillor Kiss? Councillor Horton, thank you very much. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, this simply makes sense. As we'll be discussing in the next motion, we have 5 councillors attending the LGNSW conference, so it just makes sense to change the date when more of us can be available. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Horton.
No, nothing to add. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment? Write a reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed, thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 4.3, proposed motions and voting delegates to the Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference. Councillor Horton. Councillor Downing. Councillor Horton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, as has been previously flagged, we've worked on a couple of motions to take to the LGNSW conference. One from Councillor Fagan with respect to dealing with potentially derelict buildings, and another from Councillor Wright with respect to the proposed bulk water pricing changes that were flagged earlier this year. We have a 12-month reprieve thanks to IPART. Still see some increases, but not the kind of serious increases that were being proposed. But we need to keep it on the radar and make sure that we use the advocacy power of LGNSW where we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Downing?
I would agree that these are both really good things to take to LG and SW, if I'll get my words right. And just to say that, as is generally the way, if they're in attendance, that the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor will be our voting delegates for the conference.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Kiss?
Just briefly, Mr. Mayor, and this is really to highlight something for the value of our community, I expect more than anything. That I think this is exciting, the motion in particular that Councillor Fagan has proposed about the ability for us to act faster and with more impact with regard to abandoned buildings, because sometimes I feel that the public is not as well informed as what they could be, believing that it's council just simply not acting on these sorts of issues when they do occur. And the fact is, we do. We see it, but unfortunately our hands are tied because of legislation. We have the correct procedures to go through, which of course we follow. But this is our way of advocating to the state government, going through LGNSW to say, hey, can you please do something about this? Our hands are tied, but something clearly needs to be done. So just to say that we do see these things, this is how we are then working on behalf of our community to say, we want to be able to improve the processes for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Okay. Right a reply, Councillor Horton.
Not required. Thank you.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 4.4, Cowra Community Grants for 2025-26, round 1. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Downing. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, these community grants, it really is a privilege to be part of this working party because it gives council the opportunity to maintain contact with the volunteers who continue to do amazing things for our community by providing financial backing for their endeavours. This particular round saw 19 applications with a combined total request of just over 20,000. 17 of these applications are being recommended to council for approval, totalling just over 19,000. It's within council's allocated budget. Look, the council community grants help us achieve part of our community strategic plan as it positively contributes to the organisations that have a shared vision for our shire. And these community groups, they transform our community into something that would otherwise just be suitable to live into something that really is quite magical. They're just the icing on the cake, I think, for Cowra. So I fully support the recommendation to approve these nominated grant applications, and I'd like to thank the volunteers who continue to dedicate their time to supporting the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Downing.
Just to say that I agree with Councillor Kiss that this is a great thing for our community, and it's nice to see that it goes the gamut from the Historical Society to sporting groups to the Musical and Dramatic Society to one of our villages, Wadamandara. So there's something in it for everyone. So any groups that want to apply in the next round, which there will be another later in earlier next year, yep, should get on board and have a go because it's definitely valuable.
Thank you. Anybody else like to comment? Okay, right a reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed, thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Pass. Thank you. 5.1 completion of the 2024-25 financial statements. I will move that this motion, that this 5.1 will be taken off the agenda and placed on the agenda of the council meeting in October. Councillor Kiss, second that. Thank you. This is incomplete. It doesn't have the financial statements with it. We have spoken to the auditors. They are happy for it to be dealt with next month. So we will have the complete financial statements at that time and we'll deal with them then. Councillor Kiss?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment? Okay. I don't need a right of reply, so I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 5.2, release of closed decisions. Councillor Kiss? Councillor Horton? Councillor Kiss?
This is housekeeping, Mr Mayor. Recommendation noting the release of a resolution that was made in closed council on the 25th of August to accept a tender from Fulton Hogan. Thank you.
Councillor Horton?
I'm tempted, but no, I won't add anything. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to comment? Right a reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed. Thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Passed. Thank you. By G, Councillor Watt, you're not looking any weller as time goes on. No. 5.3, policy review, council donation policy. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Downing. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. It's been discussed quite significantly. Very few changes. They were just tightening up eligibility and reporting, so forth. The council donation policy went out on public exhibition and no submissions were received. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Downing.
Just to say that this policy hasn't been officially reviewed for quite some time, so it was well and truly due. So, yeah, happy with the changes, and so are the community from what we've received back. Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Kiss, right of reply.
Not needed. Thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 5.4, pecuniary interest returns for the financial year ended the 30th of June 2025. You will note in your pink folder, there's a page there that was missing from Councillor Fagan's, and you should all have been handed. Jeff Toomey from the ARIC committee had not completed his. We got it late, very late this afternoon, and you all have a copy. They will be in the minutes, so they are now complete. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Speechley. Councillor Horton, thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Speechley.
Can I move this with a change, because I've realised that I've omitted an item in under section H on my form. So what's in the papers is not actually correct.
Through the chair, if you would like to explain what the change is, then we can certainly change the attachment.
Thank you. So it's just under section H, debts. It's a mortgage with ANZ Bank.
Put that into your submission.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
That's right.
Not required. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Kiss.
Just briefly, Mr Mayor, that just to say that these pecuniary interest documents are to ensure transparency for our councillors and designated persons, and I believe that it's only right that our public has the opportunity to scrutinise any of our personal involvement with regard to our decision making. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Right, a reply, Councillor Speechley.
Not needed.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. Passed. Thanks, Aaron. 5.5, policy review, payment of expenses and provision of facilities to the Mayor and councillors. Councillor Kiss, Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss, thank you.
May I suggest that Councillor Watt had her hand up before I did? Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Councillor Watt. I'll put you down as the mover. Councillor Watt, would you like to speak to the motion?
Councillor Watt, we don't seem to be detecting you. We seem to have a microphone problem.
Okay.
Oh, I think we got you then.
Got you?
Yes, we've got you.
Great.
Thank you.
Nothing like turning it on and off again. Very briefly, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor, for passing over to me. Very briefly, these amendments proposed bring Cowra Council in line with surrounding councils and standard practice of councils to support carers in stepping up to council meetings. We are also a council that has an odd relationship, unlike other councils, where we do regularly undertake international travel, and that is why we've changed the policy referring to international travel as being not capped, because it is in relation to the various diplomatic events that we're taking on at the time. Thank you.
Okay, I've still got Councillor Horton as the seconder.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to everyone in council, all the councillors that got involved in the conversation. We did have some back and forth, but I think we landed, as I said before, we landed in a really good place here. We've made some updates, we've made some changes, and I think we've got a bit better understanding of some of the vagaries that were in the policy earlier, and we've dealt with a few of those and cleaned a few of those things up, which is great. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment? Right, a reply, Councillor Watt.
Not required.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 5.6, business assistance to the Cowra Early Childhood Services. Councillor Kiss will leave the room. I have a mover. Councillor Watt. Seconder, Councillor Downing. Thank you. Councillor Watt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. During public exhibition of this proposal, a number of submissions were received. One was against the proposal and a number were in support. Since receiving this back from the community, we've undertaken an investigation to determine the most appropriate option for considering this donation to Cowra Early Childhood Services. KECs have raised and fundraised for some time to be able to afford to build this significant piece of infrastructure in Cowra, and undertook a very competitive grant application to get over $3 million in grant from the New South Wales Government. As we all know, including council, the delays in government funding and significant increases in building costs have blown a number of budgets out. KECs have informed us that they have spent much of their buffer budget on increased spending that was unanticipated. We ourselves, as Cowra Council, last year had to provide around $100,000 in reserves to complete the netball court redevelopment. Unfortunately, there's no leeway in government grants for increase in building costs over a period of time, and we aren't alone, neither are KECs, in seeing a big impact of COVID and the delays here. By approving this funding, we will be supporting generations of children's ability to enjoy high quality preschool education. This is a very significant amount of money and a decision we should take very carefully. But it is rare that we are able to gain such a significant investment in our community from both the New South Wales Government and from KEX, as well as from Crown Land for gifting the land. Childcare is a responsibility of local government, and it's one that we chose to delegate to Cowra Early Childhood Services a number of years ago. They developed this proposal in direct connection to a significant increase in demand and foreshadowing the COVID boom in children needing preschool, my son being one of them. We know that access to early childhood education has a huge impact on people choosing to move to Cowra and to stay here, let alone the huge benefits for our children. Having these places available has an impact on our schools, on our hospitals, on our medical centre, on all types of the economy that you see. Cowra Early Childhood Services will be fundraising for the remainder of the outstanding money, which I understand is around $200,000. This is a rare opportunity for council to put our money where our mouth is and follow through in our commitment through the operational plan and long-term strategic plan to continue to enhance childcare availability. While we know this project will go ahead without our donation, it will mean that they are fundraising from the community. And I think if we're going to ask HEX to raise $200,000 from the community, we should put our hands in our pockets as well and contribute to the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Watt. Councillor Downing?
Yes, just to say that I agree with Councillor Watt that this was discussed and debated quite vigorously in our committee and then deferred to tonight to get some clarification on where we can take the money from, which is what is suggested here, the business reserve. Firstly, this is a business development. It's a over $3 million contribution from the government and over one for the provider and the developer. So it's a substantial business investment in our town. It will create more jobs at that business, but we have to think about the bigger picture that it can create more employment for other people in the town if they can get childcare, and may even have people moving to town because we can have childcare. We put this out to the community advising of our intention, and we had many letters of support. We had 2 letters that were not as supportive. I'd just like to touch on 2. The first one was from Fran Stead from SYNC. Couple of points. What council does, because we're not involved in childcare and we're not involved in a lot of the social issues that are in our town, we give money and we support others to do those things. We support SYNC by subsidising rent, and we support them in other ways by helping them if we can. Their role in our community is hugely important, and that is what council does to support them. I'm suggesting that we would be supporting KEX in the same way, same sort of not-for-profit, same sort of exercise. I would also like to say that address what Fran said about how the one childcare centre closed because another one opened and staff just move around. I think that an example that I would give, having a husband who works in disability, that when SYNC started a disability arm of their business plan, and there were other providers that went out on their own, lots of staff left Cowra Special Needs, or as it's now called, Ability Network. That's just the way it is in small towns. That rectifies itself eventually. So that is a risk you have to take to move ahead and progress. The other letter was from a former councillor, Paul Galea. And I was disappointed that Councillor Galea doesn't actually realise that there are no precedents in a council chamber. This is not a court of law. We don't have precedents. We don't set precedents. What our community wants from us is consistency. They want to know their council is consistent. So when I'm looking at these things, I'm not looking how much I gave someone else and I'm trying to make it equal all the time. I'm consistently looking at this with an open mind, with an understanding that if the budget is there, then we can support it, and if it's valid, we can find a way to do it. But having said and that's all I can really pledge to the community, that each time we come in here, we will take this into consideration each time and do the best we can with the money that we have. So I disagree with setting up of precedents, and that was discussed at the committee meeting as well, and I reject that. So I'm more than happy to support this. I think it's an exciting development for our town, and I hope that council can get on board and partner with them in a small way to make this happen.
Thank you. Anybody else like to comment? Councillor Horton?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. So, at the risk of being a lone voice, I won't be able to support the recommendation. But to be clear, it is nothing to do with the acknowledged good work of KEX and the expectation they will continue to do good work. It really is around the fact that we have limited resources, and it's my desire, I guess, to make sure that I maximise the impact of whatever limited resources we have. I am pro-business. I am pro-development. So it's not at all about trying to restrict or limit development at all. As I said, it really is about trying to maximise the impact we have with the resources that are available to us. It's a fantastic project, and it's great that KEX got this off the ground. The truth is that the project will continue anyway, whether or not we provide this assistance. So I guess that's my fundamental point, is that if we are talking about allocating $36,000, my preference would be to allocate that to projects or to individuals or to organisations where it will actually make a fundamental difference. I just want to be clear as well, and I appreciate this is going to sound nitpicky, but I want to make the point anyway. Is yes, absolutely, we got submissions, but I think it's fair to say that a lot of those submissions were people that had, if they had to make a declaration of a conflict of interest, would have to exclude themselves from the conversation because they were direct employees of KEX, where obviously this project has an impact on them, or they're people on the board or family members of people that are employees or on the board. So great that we had the engagement, great that we got the submissions, absolutely, but they are coloured to some degree because of their involvement with KEX. So as I said, absolutely nothing against KEX. Fantastic that they've got this off the ground. It'll be great, assuming we can grow the pie of people that are available to work here. It'll mean extra places for the town, which is terrific. But I can't support it just based on the idea that, like I said, my desire is to try and maximise the impact. So if we're going to spend the money, I want to make sure it's somewhere that it's going to get us as much bang for our buck as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Got a comment? Councillor Speechley?
Thank you. Look, when just over 12 months ago, when I became a councillor for the first time and I took my oath, which was to act in the best interests of Cowra Shire and Cowra Council, I think this is one of those moments when we have to go back to that. And for me, I agree with Councillor Horton. I think the difference to the Shire is going to happen anyway. So for the people of Cowra, this doesn't actually have a direct impact on them because the project will go ahead. And I think from the council's point of view, that with our limited budget in the Business Assistance Reserve, it could be better spent on something that isn't currently here or something which is emerging, which actually would be new and additional. So that's where I'm sitting on this one.
Thank you. I would like to say that I won't support the motion. And again, as I said at the committee meeting, I feel like I'm shooting Bambi. My children went there, my grandchildren went to Corinia, but I worry, and if people won't accept that it sets a precedence, it certainly sets an expectation in the town and the shire of what you can get if you ask council. And I'll repeat again that this council is very, very financially well managed. We have to be careful with our money. I agree with Councillor Horton. I'm not saying that it's not a good thing. It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful asset to the town. But if we had unlimited finances, we'd give money to everybody. But I do think it'll create an expectation that there is money there for people if they want to ask for it. And I reject that. But Councillor Watt, write a reply. Before you do, Councillor Watt, should this motion not pass, I would like to state that I foreshadow a motion to give a donation to Cowra Early Childhood Services of a lesser amount. Councillor Watt? Write a reply, Councillor Watt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you to all of the councillors for your consideration of this over the past few weeks. While, as I said during the moving of this motion, there is no doubt that this project will not go ahead without the allocation of $36,000 from council. But what will not happen is development into future parts of KEX's business for a serious amount of time. KEX have recently expanded their out-of-school hour cares. They have a number of mobile daycares that are in operation now that they have been expanding over the last couple of years. And there is no doubt that this $36,000 will come from somewhere within KEX. And I think it's disappointing that councillors who sit in this chamber who voted for a long-term strategic plan that said that we would be a provider, an advocate and a facilitator of increased childcare positions in Cowra and to position ourselves as a family-friendly shire are voting against this motion. We are defined as a childcare desert, which means there are more than 3 children per childcare place. It's been admitted that this preschool will not get to the end of the waitlist for Cowra Early Childhood Services alone, let alone the 4 other providers in the area. In part, this request has come through to us because of a disagreement between council and the applicant about the responsibility of building a footpath on council ground at the front. And I would like to foreshadow that I will be moving a motion, should this one fail, that council cover the cost of putting in place that footpath and any required remediation efforts to make that happen. This work will come at significant cost to the applicant and was not what they expected. While this is, of course, a disagreement between the council staff and the applicant that needs to be worked through, I would agree with the applicant, as she spoke to the meeting 2 weeks ago, that on their plans they had not articulated their method for providing a footpath and it was on land that is not owned by them. I absolutely agree that we have extremely limited resources. However, as our annual returns show, we have seen a significant increase in our expected income due to increased interest rates. We put this money aside for good reason. I think councillors should be cautious to refer to coloured conflicts of interest when they have a pecuniary conflict of interest in line with an organisation who submitted a submission against this project and who personally spoke in this chamber about how an organisation that they have a pecuniary interest in could be eligible for money like this instead of Cowra Early Childhood Services. Early childhood educators' workforce is a serious issue across the country. However, as of December this year, educators will receive a 15% pay increase over the past 2 years. I wish we all had that. KEX have been proactively recruiting and working with council to increase hiring in this space. There is no doubt that they will be able to staff that centre. We only set precedents when we set policies as council. When we approved almost $100,000 to finalise the netball courts, that may mean next time we don't approve that $100,000. We decided that it was worth us spending $100,000 to finalise a project that was almost done and would have opened without that $100,000. But councillors in this room are unwilling to put forward $36,000 of council accrued money to support childcare, something that we say is one of the highest priorities of our council for the next decade. The difference will be that the people of Cowra will miss out on future opportunities. We know, and KEX has articulated, that they have future plans for this space. It has the capacity, and we saw through the DA, for a number of extra positions. If you vote against this motion tonight, what you are saying is that you think that the people of Cowra should put their money where their mouth is, but we shouldn't. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? All those against? Motion is defeated. As I foreshadowed, a motion that I would move that council donate $4,000 towards this project, as was the original recommendation when it was first put to council. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Okay, that motion lapses for want of a seconder.
I would like to put forward the motion that I foreshadowed.
Can you spell that out for the director to write down, please, Councillor Watt?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I propose that Cowra Shire Council cover the cost of putting in place the footpath required for Cowra Early Childhood Services for their Short Street application, and that include covering all costs of tree removal and implementation.
Could we ask Councillor Watt to just repeat the final part?
Could you just repeat the final part, please?
More costs.
And do you have costs?
She said, sorry.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Alan.
Mr. Mayor. I just meant I didn't catch the last words after including all costs.
Including all costs.
Thank you very much. You've had that.
We're good?
Yeah. Would you like to speak to that, Councillor Watt? First up, we need a seconder. Do I have a seconder for that, Councillor Watt's motion? Councillor Downing, thank you. Councillor Watt, would you like to speak to that motion?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Briefly, as the applicant articulated to us a fortnight ago when they attended the meeting, and as they articulated in the original application, part of the reason they originally requested for their development contributions to be refunded was that they felt that the requirement from the Department of Environmental Services for them to build a footpath on communal land, on council land, was not something they agreed to as part of it, and something that they had thought would be funded through the spending of those Section 98A, which are now Section 711 contributions. We require these higher level of contributions for large projects because we, as council, need to go and put in place infrastructure such as paths, such as roads, to support the infrastructure at hand. And what the applicant originally asked for, and the reason we came to $36,000 as the amount to give back, was because this is the anticipated cost, or this was the cost of the DA fees that were required because of the larger contribution. I don't have the costs at hand. My understanding is that there is a cost of around $25,000 in the anticipation, which is what the applicant suggested at the meeting 2 weeks ago. But that is not something that I personally have on hand. The reason I propose this as an alternative is that we are requiring the applicant to put in place public infrastructure of a path on communal land that they do not believe was submitted as part of their application, and they did not put in plans to put forward, and that is a significant cost on the project that was unanticipated. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Downing.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
If it is $25,000, where does Councillor Watt propose it comes from?
Does anybody know? Is it part of your motion that it comes from a particular fund, Councillor Watt? No.
Would the seconder be happy to defer this motion to the next meeting on the gaining of information from the Department of Infrastructure and the applicant on the anticipated costs.
So to the next meeting, yes, I'd be happy with that.
So the motion is that this be dealt with at the next meeting. Is that what I'm? Yeah, once we have a cost estimate and a proposal of where the funds would come from.
Correct. Yeah, I'd say the motion is that council investigates the costs required for the building of the footpath along Short Street and put a proposal to council, including the proposed location that the funding would come from and the proposed budget.
I agree.
You're happy with that, Councillor Downing? I'll just wait, Councillor Watt, while the director. He's got that. Okay. You have right of reply, unless someone else wants to speak on this, to put a report from council with costings and where it might come from. Right of reply, Councillor Watt?
No, thank you.
Okay, I'll put the motion. The motion is that we get a report from council of the cost of the footpath and where those funds may be obtained from. So all those in favour? Pass. Thank you very much. We've got that. Can we get Councillor Kiss back into the room, please?
Can I just request that my name is put down for voting for that motion for the $36,000?
The original motion?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Can I have it recorded?
Yeah, I think it should be recorded, all three motions, please.
Okay, Councillor Kiss is back. We'll go to 6.1, Drinking Water Management System Annual Report. Councillor Kiss. I'll second that report. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry, just took me a second to get back in. Look, this is a recommendation to basically to receive and note the drinking and water management system. According to the public health regulations, we need to provide an annual report. We get quarterly reports anyway from our infrastructure and operations department, but this is just collating it all for us. As said, it's a legal report. In general, it's a positive report, no critical control point exceedances. In the Cowra water treatment plant, there were two identified in the Darby's Falls water treatment plant. A few quality monitoring non-conformances were minor. And importantly, the PFAS, which is very much in the public eye at the moment, was not found in any of the sampling. So that is pleasing to see. There were 3 complaints made over the 12-month period about dirty water. And obviously council is continually seeking improvements, to improve their processes. I'd like to congratulate Director Weimer and his team on such positive reports and just say that their efforts don't go unnoticed or unappreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to say that I was very pleased with it. The couple of an hour problem at Darby's Falls, but the membrane was still in place when the filters broke. So really, I think it's a pretty great result for the year. Big job to send water as far out as Ribbury, and I think we've got 500 odd kilometres of water pipes that we have to manage, and I think it's an excellent result that our water quality stays the way it is. Would anyone else like to comment? Councillor Kiss, right a reply?
Not needed, thank you.
Put the motion, all those in favour? Thank you. 6.2, Cowra Sportsfields Master Plans and Play Our Way program grant funded change rooms. Councillor Horton, Councillor Downing. Thank you. Councillor Horton.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So there's been quite a bit of consultation and work done, plans drawn. This is off the back of a successful grant program in 2024. So we've got an opportunity to not only upgrade, but in some instances create female change areas at West Cowra and at Mullian. I just want to take the opportunity to thank Rod Hayes in particular, and those who work with him, of course, but Rod in particular for his time and his effort in engaging with users of these sports facilities and being a conduit between those users and committees and the architects drawing up the plans. He's done a power of work in that space, as well as keeping us as councillors up to date and bringing us up to date and briefing us prior to meetings so that we can be across where things are up to as well. So the last thing I want to note in terms of the master plans is the idea is that even though these are only part of an overall upgrade process, what we're trying to do or aiming to do is be able to add in a modular fashion as we are awarded more grant money in the future, so we can add to, as I said, in a modular way to these facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Downing.
Yes, this is about the Play Our Way program grant, which the money needs to be spent before our master plans will be finished. So the staff are doing a fantastic job. Rod in particular, he is trying to run these things together, plus the pool. So there's a huge amount of work in what's happening in the infrastructure at the moment. So this is just what architects have come up with, but it has been discussed at sport and rec meetings, and lots of feedback has come from clubs who are the user groups. So more than happy with this, and as Councillor Horton said, this is just the beginning. Hopefully we will be successful in future grant funding to fill in the gaps. Thanks.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment? Right of reply, Councillor Horton.
Not required. Thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. 7.1, Section 355 Committee Draft Minutes and the Access Committee meeting held on the 18th of August 2025. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As mentioned, these are our draft minutes from the Access Committee meeting of 18th of August. There's been an update since this meeting that I'd just like to advise of, that a date has been set for the opening of the Gary Star cabin. It's the 29th of September, and as has been mentioned, former councillor Gary Star was a local champion for accessibility, and we feel it's important that his advocacy efforts are deserving of this recognition. And a quick win, I'd like to thank the INO staff for their efforts at the Japanese Gardens over disabled car parking spaces. Couldn't tell you how many times I've gone past there and there were buses parked under the disabled car parking spaces, and all of them had the branches down on top of them, because that's just, it's more often than not always cars there. So they've been trimmed back, and pleased to see now that the buses can park under there without getting scratched on their roofs, and it's amazing how something so simple can make such a significant difference. And look, our Access Committee members are really to be commended. They continue to identify areas that are in need of equitable access improvement, and I really appreciate what they do towards advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Horton.
Not required. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment? Councillor Watt?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a brief question. On the bottom of page 396 of the council papers, it notes that Brown Park improvements have been put in the operational plan. I wasn't aware that we had put that in the operational plan. Have we made that change?
Councillor Kiss?
Mr. Mayor, yeah, and thank you, Councillor Watt. As had gone through the email as well, it hasn't been directly added in the operational plan as such. It's simply included in the inclusive playgrounds review, but not as a specific. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton.
No, not required. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment? I think I've been through this, haven't I? Okay, right of reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed. Thank
Sorry,
you.
can I just clarify? Are we able to edit the minutes to reflect the correct statement around Brian Park?
Yeah, Councillor Watt was asking if the minutes can be edited. As I understand it, the minutes will go back to the Access Committee, so we'll correct it for the Access Committee.
You happy with that, Councillor Watt? Very good. Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Pass. Thank you. 7.2, draft street awnings and balcony safety policy. Councillor Kiss, Councillor Horton. Thank you, Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And sadly, this policy came about due to the loss of life, which I expect that there have been many policies that over our time have occurred due to some sort of tragedy. Some people might just call it red tape, but rarely do policies come about without sufficient justification. And I recommend this council adopt the draft street awnings and balconies safety policy. It's simply an update of what we currently have. It did go on public exhibition and there were no submissions received. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton.
Yeah, thank you. As noted, we've received this, had it out on display. No submissions, and you're absolutely right, Councillor Kiss. Quite often these things come about because of some misadventure or misfortune. Awnings are like any other infrastructure. If they have the potential to impact any sort of public access way, they need to be not only constructed properly but also maintained. So, and it's one of those things, people will make sure the inside of their bricks and mortar shop, for example, is attractive and appealing to potential customers, but not necessarily pay any attention to what's hanging over the walkway out the front. So again, yes, might sound a little bit dry, but better to have the policy and not need it than to have something horrible happen and have no redress. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment? Councillor Downing.
Just a question. Do we work with the shop owners to get their awnings up to standard? Because obviously it's quite an expensive process. So how do we work with our business owners or shop owners?
Through the chair, what we initially did when the policy was first adopted was council actually engaged a structural engineering company that did all of the audits of all of the awnings within the Cowra local government area. What we do now, and part of the agreement with that policy was that we would do the first audit and ensure that all rectification works were done. And what we do now is we just send out reminder letters and we work with the building owners to give them the time required to undertake any repairs that are required.
Thank you. Anybody else got a comment? Okay, right of reply, Councillor Kiss.
Not needed. Thank you.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. 7.3, release of the New South Wales Food Regulation 2025 required fee adjustments. Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss. Councillor Horton.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's always a little odd moving a motion for something you don't necessarily agree with. So what's important is that that we get these fees on public exhibition and let people know, business owners in particular, that might be impacted. what the changes might potentially mean for them. There are some significant fee increases here, and so we need to make sure people are aware of those and have the opportunity to provide their input. So this new fee structure, the food regulation came into effect on the 1st of September, so it's already in existence. And so we need to make sure, as I said, that potentially impacted business owners are aware of some of these increases. So, for example, we're looking at a shift for a food premises annual administration fee from $88 to $570 for less than 5 full-time equivalent food handlers, $1,100 for somewhere between 5 and 50 food handlers. So obviously it depends on the size of the business, and just over $5,000 for businesses with more than 50 FTE food handlers, full-time equivalent food handlers. So we're not talking about $88 to $89. We're talking about a significant shift depending on the size of your business. And so it's important, I think, that those cafes, restaurants, clubs in town get a look at this and take the opportunity to provide feedback. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Horton. Councillor Kiss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Seconding exactly what Councillor Horton said. I mean, these are legislated fee increases. You not only don't like to move a motion to pass it, but the question remains, even if it goes out on public exhibition for 28 days, what recourse is there? They're already in place. There will be a media release going out, obviously, but that's just simply explaining the new fee structure and how it's come about. But as far as I can see, it's actually a done deal anyway. It's had to come through separately, obviously, because we've already, as a council, done our fees and charges for 2025-26. I think the only positive that I can see in this is that it doesn't apply to food businesses that are operating solely for community benefit. But I question why it's even put here for us to potentially make any decisions over when we really don't have any decisions that we can make other than to go with the flow. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment? I'd just like to say that we need to put this out on display for the public to look at, particularly the food people, and let them know that we didn't put this in, the government has. God bless them, you do realise they're here to help us, and we've just got to wear it. Okay, right of reply, Councillor Horton.
No, not required. Thank you.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. 8 late reports. The only late reports we have are in the pink folder, and they are the missing pages from the pecuniary interest returns, and they were dealt with in 5.4. So are there any notices of motions? Confidential matters. I'll now take a motion to close the meeting to the public to consider the following confidential reports. Confidential General Committee recommendations. Monday the 8th of September 2025. 10.1. The Wyangla Water Treatment Plant acquisition of land and easements. This matter is considered confidential under the section 10A2/C of the Local Government Act, and Council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would, on balance, be contrary to the public interest, as it deals with information that would, if disclosed, confer a commercial advantage on a person with whom the Council is conducting or proposes to conduct business. Also, 11.1, a confidential Director of Infrastructure and Operations. 11.1, request for tender 62025, Cowra Drought Water Security, electrical upgrade for heavy voltage level 1. And 11.2, request for tender 82025, telemetry system upgrade, including smart water quality monitoring, pilot using an M-node sensors. These matters are considered to be confidential under section 10A2D1, not 1, that's I, of the Local Government Act, and Council is satisfied that discussion of these matters in an open meeting would, on balance, be contrary to public interest, as they deal with commercial information of a confidential nature that would, if disclosed, prejudice the commercial position of the person who supplied it. Can I have a Councillor Horton? Councillor Kiss, thank you. Councillor Horton?
Not required, thank you.
Councillor Kiss? Anybody else want to comment? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Pass, thank you. We will go to 10.1 once we close off the recording.